Travel consideration provided by
Home Goods. Go finding.
Crunchy. Ooh.
Tasty.
Oh.
Sweet or savory.
Always satisfying.
Give me Blue Diamond.
Crunchy, tasty, sweet or savory. Always satisfying.
Give me Blue Diamond. Crunchy, tasty, sweet or savory. Always satisfying. Give me
Blue Diamond Almonds.
Tomorrow on ET, Only We're with Serena Williams, serving up a career first.
It's a different feeling.
All right, before we go, Finding Your Roots has done it again. Y'all, Henry Louis Gates Jr. dropping some new DNA bombs.
Happening now.
A man charged in a horrific 2022 murder, given a plea deal and sentenced to just 34 years. We'll take you inside the courtroom for reaction from the victim's family.
More cool mornings, but warm afternoons. We'll get into those details, along with some noticeable changes for the weekend and the all-important updated Eclipse forecast. I'll see you in a bit.
Former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden both have won their respective nominations, but the primaries go on. In fact, the message that Wisconsin voters sent in their primary last night was not so flattering to either candidate. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, a case of torture, a shooting, a man's body dumped, ending today with a 34-year prison sentence.
It is a plea deal taken by a man who'd already been convicted twice on felony charges. Eric Hernandez with the reaction from the tortured man's mother, who says Matthew Pacheco McKinney deserves worse than what he got.
May you rot in hell and worse is done to you.
Stephanie Pacheco didn't hold back as she faced the man who killed her son Matthew Pacheco McKinney in November 2022. Pacheco McKinney's body was found dumped behind a vacant apartment in Live Oak. The arrest affidavit says he was tied up, tortured, shot, and injected with bleach. An informant told police Justin Hunt shot Pacheco McKinney after he got into a fight with two other men inside a home on Montgomery Drive on the northeast side. Court documents never revealed how the suspect and the victim knew each other. Hunt was arrested and charged more than a month after the murder. Hunt took a plea deal, so today Judge Cristina Escalona sentenced him to 34 years, a sentence that Pacheco McKinney's mother didn't think was enough.
I feel like you, Justin Hunt, deserves life in prison since you took away a life, my son, who didn't deserve to have his life taken away.
A co-defendant in the case who was accused of dumping Pacheco McKinney's body was charged with alter, destroy, conceal human corpse, but had his charge dismissed last summer.
Hunt was also sentenced 10 years for a separate felon in possession charge, but that 10 years will run concurrently with the 34 years. He is eligible for parole after serving half of his sentence. At the Kid Interviews Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And we do want to mention that in the onset of that story, we mentioned the wrong name, the victim in the case, Matthew Pacheco McKinney, the man who was arrested for the murder. His name is Hunt, Justin Hunt.
All right, let's go to some cutting edge stuff now. A new partnership between multiple organizations in San Antonio and the Department of Energy's Advanced Research Projects Agency, making history.
San Antonio International, the first airport that will revamp how it uses renewable energy. Some of the new technologies include innovative battery storage, enhanced electric vehicle charging, and power demand management. The agreement marks the first time an international airport will work with this sector of the Department of Energy.
We're excited on is the rapid charging systems that are available, the reduction in the use of power, the reduction in the use of gas, and ultimately leading to the decarbonization on our airport footprints.
The organizations included in the agreement include the City of San Antonio, Aviation Department, CPS Energy, and UTSA.
The eclipse is quickly approaching, and it's important that you have the right glasses to view it.
And KSAT is your place to get them. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery and Sarah Spivey getting ready to hand out free safety glasses to our viewers. So let's take it to the south side and get some more information from them. Hi, guys.
Hello. Yes, we are at Mine Melrose off of Southwest Military. A beautiful day with all of our wonderful new friends. Hi, guys. about 3 this afternoon, getting ready to get their hands on a wonderful pair of Eclipse glasses.
A wonderful pair of Eclipse glasses, and also today at my Melrose, you can get 20% off of any item in the store, which is a super awesome deal that they've got going on. So come out here to my Melrose, Southwest Military location, all right? Southwest Military location. There's several locations. We're at the Southwest Military location. We're going to be handing out Eclipse glasses until 7 tonight. Solar Eclipse glasses.
Yes, and so this is what it looks like outside. We're right by the Chuck E. Cheese here again at my Melrose, handing out those Eclipse glasses. Y'all excited to get some Eclipse glasses?
Yeah! Stick around for a fun time, and of course that Eclipse forecast as well.
Great to see all those people out there. Thank you, Mia and Sarah. And don't forget, at 7 o'clock tonight, all 5 of our meteorologists will be hosting a live stream to answer your questions on the eclipse. The stream will happen on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and our YouTube page.
And we have a lot to go over, not just, of course, in terms of the rare astronomical event, the eclipse, but especially the forecast. And I'll get into some of that in just a few minutes when we have a little more time here. 45 earlier this morning, well below average for this time of year by 11 degrees. Then we warmed up 36 degrees to 81 this afternoon. So big temperature spread, as we often see this time of year with the clear sky, the dry air in place. 80 degrees right now in Eagle Pass, Leon Springs at 78. 81, Rick's backyard in Bernie, along with Lavernia in Rogers' backyard. Clear, calm, low humidity, so good radiational cooling. Temperatures falling off quickly this evening. By 10 o'clock, we're at 66, midnight at 59, and tomorrow's going to be very similar. A bit cool in the morning, but then a sunny and warm afternoon. We have some noticeable changes for the weekend and the all-important updated eclipse forecast and discussion in just a bit.
Looking forward to it, Adam. Thank you. We're going to take a live look outside with time saver traffic. We're having some technical difficulties with the TransGuide cameras right now, but what you should have been able to see through that picture was that the 18-wheeler that fell over on its side on the curve going inbound to I-35 from I-10 is still on its side, and traffic is still backed up there.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump claiming wins in another round of primaries yesterday.
But you could say the voters won, too, because they sent a message last night in Wisconsin and that primary, and it came out loud and clear. It wasn't particularly flattering to either candidate.
Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live with the key takeaways from Tuesday's primary in the Badger State, a state that will be very important in November. Julia.
That's right. All eyes were on Wisconsin yesterday. Its status as a crucial 2024 presidential battleground means that every vote was scrutinized for what's to come in November, looking for any insight in what's to come in November. Almost any path to victory will run through several swing states, including Wisconsin. Back in 2016, former President Donald Trump secured a win there by fewer than 23,000 votes. And then in 2020, President Joe Biden won by fewer than 21,000 votes.
I came to office determined to uphold the duty that gets us through one of the toughest periods in our nation's history. And we have.
Wisconsin primary voters are now sending both Biden and Trump a message. More than 47,000 Wisconsin Democrats, that's roughly 8% of those who went to the polls, marked uninstructed at the ballot box, largely in protest of Biden's handling of the war in Gaza.
If they won't listen to our calls or our emails or our letters, then they better listen to our votes instead.
Trump also faced pushback as he continues to try and reach more moderate voters.
A vote for Trump is a vote to save Wisconsin, and it's a vote to save your country.
In Wisconsin, more than 76,000 Republicans, that's roughly 13% of those who voted, cast their ballots for his former primary opponent, Nikki Haley. Another former opponent, Ron DeSantis, and uninstructed brought in about 30,000 votes combined. After some time away from the traditional campaign trail, Trump made a couple of stops yesterday, including one in Wisconsin and one in Michigan, another important battleground state. Biden made his own campaign swing through several battleground areas last month. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Julia, you mentioned that the former President Trump back on the campaign trail, visiting Michigan, visiting Wisconsin. Why are those two battleground states so important to his candidacy?
Well, Wisconsin and Michigan are going to be critical in November. Back in 2016, these two states, along with Pennsylvania, played a key role in getting Trump to the White House. He was able to put a crack in the so-called blue wall that Democrats had relied on for years. Since that win, though, in 2016, Republicans have had trouble replicating Trump's success. Biden won all three of those states narrowly in 2020. And since that 2016 win again, Wisconsin and Michigan now have Democratic governors, and a key Senate seat was flipped for Democrats.
Julia, one more question. As the primary season continues, we're now saying that President Biden is making a direct appeal to Republicans who voted for Nikki Haley. In a new ad, he's trying to take a crack at those voters. What does that tell us?
He is making a direct appeal to people who voted for former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley in the primaries, and he is using Trump's own words to do this. The ad features numerous clips of Trump calling Haley a bird brain, not presidential timber, a very angry person. And then maybe the most powerful clip, Trump is asked directly what he's going to do to get Haley's voters that support. And he replied, quote, "I'm not sure that we need that many."
Interesting. Julia Benbrook reporting live for us from the White House. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Julia. It's still ahead. Who you trust with your online banking can make or break your financial future and cost you time. The best banking apps are next.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock. Next time you fly out of San Antonio International Airport, you might be able to book your flight and your parking spot before you go. The city plans to privatize airport parking. What that means for you. Plus, a painful lesson for a local teenager. San Antonio police say he did some major damage to his hand, possibly while playing with a gun, but police still have questions. Plus,
in a given location, the average time between eclipses is 375 years.
You have heard by now that total solar eclipse is coming. We've been sharing information about the event for weeks. Well, today we're compiling it all in one place to get you ready for totality on Monday. KSAT explains the total eclipse is today on the news at 6. We'll see you then.
Ready for totality. I like that. All right, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center had some special guests donating blood today. Ray Feo, 75, and his Diamond Jubilee Court. Our blood supply level remains critically low, and Fiesta Royalty Group hopes their donations will inspire others to help out. Ray Feo says giving blood one of the most helpful things a person can do.
It's pretty much what we've been doing for the last couple of years is our time and just raising money for the community. But there's nothing that you can give back to the community more valuable than blood.
I'm glad he kept his crown on the whole time. Did you notice that?
That probably was
that's skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blood donors got to meet Ray Feo and get Fiesta medals from him while giving blood during his visit. You can learn more about donating blood by heading to our website, ksat.com.
So when was the last time you stepped foot inside a bank? Nowadays, a lot of people do all their banking by using an app on their phone.
I'm kind of old school. I still go in.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes. In fact, a lot of banks are digital only, though. 12 News Side's Marilyn Moritz looks at which apps you can bank on when you need them.
Depositing checks, transferring funds, paying bills. Gone are the days of having to go to a physical branch to do any of them. Now, 24/7, you can just use an app. In a recent survey, Consumer Reports found 3 out of 4 Americans use one or more banking apps. Which apps are best?
We evaluated these apps for safety, privacy, transparency, support for financial well-being, and accessibility.
Consumer Reports experts looked at the apps of 5 large traditional banks and 5 online-only banks. If avoiding fees is essential to you when looking for a new banking service, a digital bank may be your best bet. But there is a trade-off.
We found that most of the digital banking providers offered consumers free checking and savings accounts and tended to provide higher interest rates. On the other hand, we found that traditional banks offered more features and tools to help you budget and save.
When it comes to protecting your data, all of the apps have flaws, some more serious than others.
Most of these apps tend to share more data than what is needed, while only some of the banking apps allow you to opt out of targeted advertising.
No matter what app you choose, banking securely is important. Use Face ID or a 6-digit PIN to unlock your phone. And on the app itself, enable two-factor or multi-factor authentication. And if you lose your phone, let your bank know right away. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam, and you can see one of those gorgeous days that we need if we wanted to watch a total solar eclipse. This is what we needed.
This would be optimal.
We know it's too good to be true. We have so many days just like this. Why do things have to, of course, change right around eclipse time? Let's get right to our main eclipse headlines. Of course, it's this upcoming Monday. We're not going to have a perfectly clear view. That we know. We'll get into why in a moment. We're likely to have some clouds during the eclipse. The exact extent of those clouds is still a bit of a wild card. Viewing, though, I think still possible in our area. Here's our latest going forecast. The chance of a partially blocked view is at 60%, and the chance of a totally blocked view within totality is a 40% chance. Either way, it still gets dark outside, no matter what, in those situations. Actually, I have a friend and a former colleague who has been through a total solar eclipse in drizzle and low overcast, and he said, the cool part about it is basically the sky, everything turned like it was midnight, pitch black when it moved over. You just couldn't see all the cool effects of the eclipse, and you couldn't see the sun's corona and right now, whatnot. Anyway, with this kind of weather pattern that we have taking shape, it's very unstable and uncertain and changes very frequently, and that's why we're seeing our forecast change, and we're constantly modifying it for next Monday. And specific cloud cover forecasts are very difficult this far out. We really need to get into the weekend in order to have a better idea of just those details of the clouds. But whenever we get this southwesterly flow aloft, which is what we've had a lot of this spring and we will be getting on Monday, that pushes in Pacific moisture, and that Pacific moisture means at least some high clouds overhead. So that's why we say at least some clouds, but those high clouds can sometimes be pretty translucent. So that's what we're hoping for in that event. Another wild card to talk about, and that does directly tie into humidity and dew points. Humidity spikes on Saturday, morning fog and drizzle as a result, drops on Sunday. By Monday, that humidity's back up and dew points rise again, and that's likely going to lead to some areas of low clouds for the morning hours. How long they last, that's the big question. Here's the dew point forecast. I'll step aside so you can see it. Cold front moves in on Sunday, during the day on Sunday. It stalls along the coast and then washes out, and the humid air works its way back into San Antonio by Monday morning and other areas along totality. Typically, when we see this kind of pattern, it generates low gray clouds for the morning hours, sometimes just until 9 a.m., sometimes all the way up until noon. That right there is what we have to really hone in on, especially as we get into this upcoming weekend and we have higher resolution data. All right, quick look at temperature. 82 degrees out there right now. Tomorrow morning, a bit of a chill in the air. Not quite as cool as earlier today, but upper 40s, so sweatshirts at the bus stop. By the noon hour, we're up to 78, 85 for the high temperature. Nothing but sunshine, another beautiful day, and low humidity again tomorrow. 83 Kerrville, 86 Hondo tomorrow, Converse at 84, Castroville 85. We get into the weekend. Saturday morning, some of that morning fog and drizzle, then mostly cloudy. By Sunday, we clear out and just a 20% chance of showers early Sunday morning.
All right, Adam, we'll keep an eye on all of that and more. Thank you.
All right, the Spurs shorthanded last night, but they gave the Nuggets a game.
They certainly did, and I'll tell you, Wemby had a double-double, the Joker for Denver had a double-double, and at the end of the night, Pop was very pleased with his team's effort, and Denver, you know what, very impressed with Wembanyama. We got it coming up.
I mean, I was just, at least I'm going to be aggressive and try to dunk it, like, why not? And then it was funny.
He's got to dunk this one. A layup gets blown up.
Did you say anything to him after that?
Yeah, if you block more shot, I'm going to something. But he blocked like 4 after that, so I didn't do anything about it.
After Wemby blocked Nikola Jokic twice in the opening minutes, he made sure to throw down a slam on Victor, and the two had a good laugh afterward in Big Board Sports. All right, so Victor Wembanyama blocked 9 shots last night. He got the Joker twice in the first 6 minutes, which is why Nikola was determined to throw one down on Wemby during the Nuggets' 5-point win last night. Despite being down 3 key players in Devin, Jeremy, and Keldon, the Spurs were in this game to the very end. It was tied at 105 with 30 seconds to go, and the Nuggets would take over from there to win a close one, 110-105.
One of the most competitive games that I've been part of for many years. For 48 minutes, under difficult circumstances, these guys just played. Didn't worry about a call or turnover or whatever. They just went to the next play. And so many people participated in it, but the effort for 48 was really impressive. The best I've seen all year.
And Wemby was Wemby. 23 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 9 block shots in 34 minutes. Now listen to what Nuggets head coach Michael Malone said about Wemby during post when asked how does Wemby uniquely change the game.
His unique length and shot blocking ability. He's the future of the NBA. I mean, we're watching the ascension of the next great player in the NBA. And, for him to go out there, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 9 blocks, 8 assists, there's not a lot that young man cannot do. So, and he's in the right organization with the right coach to help him get better and learn. And he's a hell of a talent.
So the Spurs will next suit up and play Friday night at 7 at the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pels are holding down the 6th seed in the West, just above the cutoff for the play-in tournament, so the Spurs can go in there and play spoilers by getting a dub.
Usually Greg Popovich is a little careful about what he says, but when he says that was the best game they've played of the year,
yes,
without a Sohan and a Vassell and Keldon Johnson,
exactly,
that gets your attention.
It certainly does. But they did play great, and like Coach Malone said, when a team is shorthanded like that, that's usually when they're the most dangerous, and we've seen that in the past.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Good to see.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
And, of course, we'll be talking more about the eclipse and the eclipse forecast on our live stream at 7 p.m. and all of our streaming platforms and KSAT.com. And you look at our forecast, quiet the next few days, mornings near 50, afternoons mid-80s, sunny. Saturday morning, some fog and drizzle, but that'll lead to just low clouds and a mainly gray sky by the midday and afternoon. Saturday night, a cold front moves in. It's going to get rid of the humidity for Sunday. Could give us a few stray showers overnight Saturday. Nothing to get in the way of the Valero Texas Open and the final round there on Sunday. Once we get into Monday Eclipse Day, humidity returns, some clouds likely, 20% chance of a thunderstorm late in the day after eclipse time. We're going to talk more about that coming up at 6.
All right, Adam, thank you, and thank you for watching the News at 5.
Well, news up next. See you back here at 6.